Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're continuing on with our holiday theme. As a huge thank you to all the love and support you show the channel, I just wanted to make another holiday video. I'm going through the best of holiday episodes of Friends, and this one is one of the greats. It's remember the one with all the candy? Monica makes all the Christmas candy, the holiday candy, and her neighbors go nuts for it. That's not even my favorite storyline in this episode. It has to do with Phoebe getting her first bike. So, again, a huge thank you so much for being here and all the love and support. Thank you for everything you do around the year, from watching it to hitting the thumbs up to your comments. I really appreciate it. It really means the world to me. If you want to further support the show, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. $4 gets you access to my whole catalog of videos I've recorded and gains you 4 new episodes a month. So again, check that out. Without further ado, let's get into the one with all the holiday candy. So the episode starts out with Ben on a bike. This sets up the storyline to learn that Phoebe never had a bike. She used to admire the little girls across the street. She had the best bike with this basket and flowers, and turns out it just gets more and more sad. She would sit on the box that the bike came in because it had a picture of the bike on it, and her stepdad would drag her around in the yard on this bike. So that, again, one of my favorite storylines that comes into play in just a little bit. Meanwhile, we find out Monica is making holiday candy. It's this ploy she's come up with to make candy for the neighbors. And Chandler points out, we don't know the neighbors. We don't need to get to know the neighbors. But she wants to make candy to get to know the neighbors. Rachel comes over. She's super excited about Tag, her new assistant that she's dating. Tag is... so they just started seeing each other. They stayed up all night to figure out how not to let it be a problem. Turns out the plan is, well, just don't let it be a problem. Now, funny side note. Monica names people that Rachel slept with on the first date. I have watched the bloopers about 1 million times, and one of the times that Monica's naming people, she ends up naming Marta Kaufman and all the other producers from Friends, and I found that very funny. But one of the guys she does end up naming that made it in the final cut is I think he's a script supervisor, they said, something like that. He also worked on Parks and Rec. So Rachel's at work. She's pretending to be a professional with Tag, but she keeps giggling and say, ooh, they don't know that we're in a relationship, even though they're being over the top obvious about it. Turns out she has to do a performance evaluation on Tag because he's been there for 2 months. So she sweeps the things off her desk and says she's always wanted to do that. Then she asks him to help her re-clean it. Again, I only bring this up because it's going to come into play later. Monica comes home to discover that all her candy's gone. She suspects it's Joey. He said that was the plan, but he got there too late. All the neighbors had eaten her candy. I love this scene right here with Phoebe cutting Joey's hair. They don't even explain it. She's just cutting around the bowl. Why not? So she loves the idea. It's about being liked, right? The idea that she'd be liked by making this neighborhood candy, or the neighbor candy. Okay, Ross comes over and says that the story that Phoebe told him moved him so much that he ended up getting her a bike. And this is why I love the character Ross. Ross can be annoying, and I thought he was super dweeby when I watched it when I was in my 20s, but now I'm a big Ross fan. I love that he did that for Phoebe. Meanwhile, in the middle of the night, there's knocking. This is the part of the story that bugs me. The neighbors are over the top, right? They want this candy. Apparently, it's so addictive they need it at 4 o'clock in the morning. So they're knocking on the door. She tells the neighbor to swing by first thing in the morning, and there will be some for him. All right, Rachel and Tag. So she made this evaluation for him as a joke. She filled it out all dirty, but it was marked confidential, so he didn't read it. He just sent it straight on to HR. She made it as a joke for him. She calls him a good kisser and talked about his teeny tiny tushy. So under problem with performance, she said, "Dear God, I hope not." And she made a small pornographic sketch on it. But again, he misunderstood and sent it straight on to HR. From there, we go to the coffee shop where the group is talking about how sweet it is seeing Phoebe with her bike. They compare notes and realize, oh crap, Phoebe's just been walking her bike around. she doesn't actually know how to ride it. Phoebe says, yes, I can, and tries to ride it and immediately falls down. Okay, so then we go over to Monica. She's telling Rachel that she should not have gotten involved with her assistant. Rachel is freaking out and saying that she has to get the HR or the review back that she did for Tag. Joey is guessing what the pornographic sketch looked like. Neighbor knocks on the door and begs for candy. She has people coming in from out of town, and she's asking for help. Again, it's that Monica needs to feel needed, so she's all about it. She's like, okay, fine, here you go. And Chandler then discovers she's become a chef just to get people to like her, which she points out, okay, Chuckles, why do you keep making fun of us? Why do you like to make people laugh so much? Is it to get people to like you? Ross is teaching Phoebe to ride her bike and saying that she must learn in case of emergency. He does the thing that all parents do where you hold on to the back of the bike and then you have to let go. Phoebe realizes what's happened. She's shocked and screams at Ross. Everybody looks at Ross like he's the bad guy. We go over to Monica's, and she's freaking out because the neighbors are just obsessed with this candy. It seems to be all about this candy. They won't take no for an answer. She's freaking out. She says, you don't know the system. Ross to Phoebe. He talks to her, and she says, hello, liar. This is my favorite part of this episode right here. She says she could have been killed on the bike. She said that the bike has been stolen, and there's no suspects. Meanwhile, look at the clearly draped bike right there. Ross makes the bell ring and she says, what the hell? Ross says that he'll take the bike back. So he talks her into getting back on the bike by convincing her if you don't ride the bike, what a bike is meant to do, then it kills its spirit. She pretends like it's all hokey and she doesn't believe it, but then as soon as he leaves the room, she says, don't die, please don't die. But she says, all right, if you care enough to make up that load of crap, I'll try riding the bike again. So then we go to Rachel and Tag. They're coming up with this plan of how to get this review that she's filled, or the evaluation that she's filled out back. She's like coming up with this huge elaborate plan. She's going to go steal it back from Mr. Zellner. She doesn't think he's in yet. Well, who comes in but Mr. Zellner? She's filled it out. Tag Sweet Cheeks Jones, which I love. So he comes in and says something's going on. She tries to deny it. She says if something were going on, what would happen? And it turns out both their jobs would be in jeopardy. Tag steps up and says, no, she didn't do anything. I filled it out about myself. Then he says he has a very, very weird sense of humor and he's weirdly proud of his butt. So Mr. Zellner buys it. He says that he enjoys a dirty limerick. Tag ends up knocking everything off her desk. She says, I just got that organized, and it's all a joke. It's so she can check out his teeny tiny tushy. Okay, back at Chandler's, it's like an insane candy group here. They're all waiting for candy. Okay, see this guy? Where is he? Right there, the bald guy with the glasses. That is Roger, the guy in the episode when Phoebe brings him over to have sex with Rachel. Remember, she's like all horny for her, during her pregnancy. She brings him over. That's the same guy. Joey apparently slipped a threatening note under the door to try to get candy. That's how bad these neighbors want the candy. Chandler sends them all away. Joey comes inside. And then the final scene of the episode, we see Phoebe riding her bike. And she faced her fears, and she's doing a great job. In the final shot, they pan down, and we see Phoebe is riding her bike with training wheels. And that is how the episode ends. Such a fun holiday episode. It was really cute. I love that Ross gave Phoebe the bike, and that she was so excited. And then she found a way to make it work, right, with her training wheels. So that's it for the episode, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the recap. It was so much fun to go back through this one. I haven't watched Friends in so long, and this has been such a fun treat. I hope you guys have the best holiday, and I can't wait to talk to you more very soon. Take care. Stay healthy. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.